Law enforcement is warning against dangerous e-bike and e-scooter use, especially by kids. Lewis County Sheriff's Office posted a graphic detailing the laws around the vehicles in response to an uptick in reported incidents and the growing popularity of the vehicles. The office reports an increase in incidents involving e-bikes and scooters since school was let out for summer, but emphasizes that problems around them aren't exclusive to young people.
Limited to one person only unless it's intended to have somewhere for a passenger. But speeds is a big thing, where to operate them on roadways or the sidewalks. It all depends on which one that you're riding on, where you can ride it.
Police want parents to be active in enforcing safe use, and the Sheriff's Office says that their priority is education, especially when it comes to kids.
We see somebody that's not operating it appropriately, we'll stop and make contact with them and educate them on the rules and the laws of e-bikes or e-scooters, and also have communication with their parents or family members, so that way they can spread that communication as well.
The Sheriff's Office also wants to remind parents to do their research before buying their child an e-bike or e-scooter.